Welcome to News Hour on Some TV, a reliable venue to the pulse of the nation. Stay connected with us on Facebook at Some TV and catch every moment live on YouTube at Some TV Live. Now the top stories making headlines. APC sets NEC meeting for July 24th to announce new national chairman amid leadership transition. ADC faces internal crisis as Kachukwu threatens legal actions over what he described as Article 2027 plot. Professor Fatima Alkali rejects nomination to Nigeria's Law Reform Commission. I am Esther Oka-Steven with the news info. In the terrain of Nigerian politics, major developments are underway within the ruling and opposition parties. The All Progressive Congress APC, Nigeria's ruling party, has announced its National Executive Committee NEC meeting for 24th July 2025. The session, to be held at the National Secretariat in Abuja, will culminate in the formal announcement of a new national chairman. This transition follows the resignation of Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, former governor of Kano State, who had been serving in that role. For now, Ali Bukar Dalori acts as interim chairman, steering the parties through a sensitive period as it prepares for future electoral battles. In the opposition camp, turmoil gripped the African Democratic Congress ADC following a controversial takeover by a coalition of high-profile politicians. FCT Minister Nyesom Wike lashed out at the coalition, branding its leaders such as David Mark, Rotimi Amechi, and Abubakar Malumi as failed politicians incapable of rescuing the country. The sharp rebuke came amid claim by Dumabe Kachukwu, the party's 2023 presidential flag bearer, that the coalition aimed to position former Vice President Atiku Abubakar for a 2027 presidential run, an alleged violation of rotational power agreement. Kachukwu denounced the takeover as illegitimate, accusing the group of bypassing democratic norms. At a press briefing flanked by several state chairmen, he threatened legal action, insisted that any leadership vacuum be addressed via a national convention, and pledged to petition INEC. However, other party leaders, including Plateau ADC Chair Annatu Gagara and former Minister Solomon Dalung, defended the move as constitutional and aimed at opposition unity. The presidency also weighed in, dismissing the coalition as lacking integrity and vision. This opposition narrates online deep fracture within Nigeria's political class as alliance reshape ahead of 2027. In a significant development, the intersection of law and governance, Professor Fatima Alkali has turned down a nomination as Commissioner of the Nigerian Law Reform Commission, NLRC. A decision was revealed during a Senate plenary session as lawmakers considered to confirmation of nominees. Alkali, selected to represent the Northeast, declined to offer and did not appear for screening. The Senate committee, in response, recommended that another female nominee from the same region be considered to preserve gender and regional balance. Meanwhile, Dakas was confirmed as chairman of the commission alongside Uchenna Okolocha as a commissioner. This situation highlights both the challenges and responsibilities inherent in national appointment. In the arena of national security, the Defense Headquarters has reaffirmed the military's limits jurisdiction regarding amnesty for bandits and terrorists. At a press briefing in Abuja, Major General Marcus Kangiab, Director of Defense Media Operations, clarified that the military lacked the legal authorities to pardon insurgents who surrender. The power is stressed lies exclusively with civilian government agencies. This statement came amidst growing debate about the moral and strategic dimension of granting amnesty to combatants in the northeast and northwest. While the military continues to record operational successes, including the surrender of dozens of armed elements in Katsina, their roles remain confined to enforcement, arrest, and security operation. Brigadier General Tukur Gusau, defense spokesperson, also addressed the sensitive issues of Okoma community leaders who have been in detention since March 2024 for their alleged involvement in the killing of soldiers. He stated that the military has not received any formal court order for their release and reiterated that proper legal channel must be followed in seeking access to the detainees. In a constructive intersection between security and social development, Chief of Defense Staff General Christopher Musa has pledged military support to the National Institute for Sport, NIS. During a courtesy visit by NIS Director General Comrade Philip Shaibu, the two parties discussed collaborative strategies to enhance the training and retraining of coaches and athletes nationwide. General Musa emphasized the role of sports in curbing insecurity, particularly by engaging at-risk youth in productive activities. Shaibul in turn highlighted the need for increased government and private sector investment in grassroots sports development. The partnership is seen as a proactive response to growing youth unemployment and a reaffirmation of the Tinubu's administration's renewed hope agenda. In Abuja, the Southeast Development Commission, SEDC, marked its first 100 days by unveiling an ambitious roadmap to extend the region's economy from $40 billion to $200 billion over the next decades. At a roundtable event, Managing Director Mark Okoye outlined key areas of focus: large-scale mechanized agriculture, industrial revitalization, market development, housing scheme, venture capital investment, and youth entrepreneurship. The event drew praise from lawmakers, federal ministers, and development partners. Representatives of the United Nations Development Programme, UNDP, described the initiative as a promising example of regional planning tailored to local strengths, such as the Southeast entrepreneurial spirit and human capital. Collaboration between federal and regional stakeholders was emphasized as essential for addressing persistent gaps in infrastructure, social services, and job creation. Adding to the momentum in national development, the ECOWAS Bank for Investment and Development, EBID, has approved a $100 million loan facility to support Nigeria's Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway. The highway is expected to connect 9 Nigerian states, facilitate access to ports and remote agricultural regions, and bolster regional integration. The loan was part of a border funding package approved at EBID's 92nd ordinary session, which include 174 million euros and $125 million for various West African projects. These include vocational training centers in Togo, agricultural education upgrade in Guinea, and rural hydropower station. EBID described the Lagos-Calabar project as transformative for both Nigeria and the border ECOWAS region, offering long-term benefits in logistics, trade, and economic development. Agricultural development continues to take center stage in government and corporate initiatives. The National Agricultural Development Fund, NADF, has launched a digital platform to manage its 19.5 billion Naira Agro-Farm Support Program designed to support 50,000 smallholder farmers. The platform enables geo-tagging, biometric tracking, and transparent input distribution. The program will subsidize 50% of the cost of inputs like seeds, fertilizer, and crop protection chemical for maize, rice, cassava, and soybeans cultivation. Beneficiaries must be registered with BVN or NIN, and the platform links them to processors through the repayment model. Officials emphasize initiative commitment to gender equity with 40% of slots reserved for women and 20% for youth. In a parallel private sector effort, Dangote Cement PLC has launched a Farmer Empower program in Gboko, Benue State. The initiative provides 50 farmers with agricultural inputs such as fertilizers, seedlings, and agrochemicals. The company also plans annual youth empowerment program focused on welding, solar installation, and business development. Community leaders welcomed the support, seeing it as a pathway to food security and economic self-sufficiency. Education continues to make headlines both in terms of achievement and advocacy. The Federal University of Kashara Gombe State will award degrees to 6,870 students in its upcoming convocation ceremony, which merges its 6th through 9th graduating classes. Notably, 91 students achieved first-class honors, an impressive feat that underscores the institution's academic section. Meanwhile, in the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, the 6 area council chairmen have agreed to relinquish 10% of their internally generated revenue for 6 months. The fund will be directed towards setting outstanding salaries and allowances owed to public school teachers. The move is seen as a step towards resolving long-standing tensions between the government and the teachers' union. We are heading into a short commercial break, but stay right there. What's coming up next would keep you watching the screen. Stay tuned.
Are you stuck in Jalingo late at night? Need a safe and reliable ride fast? Introducing Supercab, Jalingo's trusted ride-hailing service from anywhere in the city. We will pick you up right at your doorstep. Book a ride in seconds. Safe, fast, and affordable. Visit www.supercab.com.ng or download the Supercab app today. Supercab, your ride your way.
Welcome back. In a display of Nigerian growing stature in African sports, Abeokuta, Ogun State is set to host the 3rd African 18/20 Athletes competitions from July 16 to 20th, 2025. Over 900 athletes and officials from 43 countries are expected to participate. Nigerians lead the delegation count with 132 participants, followed closely by South Africa, Ethiopia, and Kenya. The championship followed the successful hosting of the 2024 Gateway Games, which drew more than 15,000 athletes and visitors to the city. In football, Brew FC have arrived the Asaba Delta State for the Nigerian National League NNL Super 8 playoff. The Kano-based club known as Melia Boys joined 7 other contenders aiming for promotion to the Nigerian Premier Football League. The competition is scheduled to run from 5th July to 12th at the Stephen Keshi Stadium. Amid the celebration, the nation mourns the loss of a sports icon, Peter Rufai. Legendary goalkeeper and 1994 African Cup of Nations AFCON chairman has passed away. The Super Eagles confirmed the heartbreaking news on their official X handle, remembering Yusuf as a towering figure in Nigerian football. Tributes have poured in from fans, former teammates, and Football Federation worldwide. In a cultural domain, the Kano International Poetry Festival has opened its call for submission for the 2025 edition themed Poetry in a Time of Crisis. The festival invites poets to explore issues ranging from political unrest and economic hardship to personal trauma and emotional healing. Selected entries will be published in an anthology and be unveiled during the festival, scheduled from 11th to 13th September. Curated by Salim Yunusa and Nasiba Bale. The program continues to be a beacon of literary expression and social advocacy. Organizers aim to use poetry as a means of not just storytelling but transformation, bringing issues to light and healing communities in the process. And this brings us to the end of News Hour for now. Stay tuned for more lineup of programs from Some TV. I am Esther Oka Steven. Thanks for watching.